What is going on, guys? Today we have this huge box. It's just ridiculous how big it is, and if you're wondering what it is, then you can probably guess by the title. It's a hood. We finally got a hood. I just want to unbox it and see how it fits on the 240. So this is the hood. We got the one with the vent on it. I guess it's the DMAX style hood. It's fiberglass, which means that it's got some issues, like it's not perfectly smooth everywhere, like right there and right there. But that's just little things, and I still don't know if I want to paint or wrap the car or what I want to do with the exterior, so it's going to stay this color for now. Once we decide what we're going to do, then we can get some body work done, then get it painted or wrapped. So one thing I'm a little bit worried about is the vent comes back to here like that, and that's cool and all, like it looks good, but our wastegate is going to come up in this general area. So I'm hoping that it's on either side of it. Actually, preferably this side would be better. I hope it's back far enough to where it's not on one of the vents, because I don't really have a lot of room like to maneuver this, and I really don't want to have it pointing down. You know, I wanted it to come out of the hood and I wanted to be able to at least put this out the hood, because I can't put the actual exhaust out of the hood, but I want to throw it on. So before we can do that, I'm going to take this off, because that's for sure going to interfere. So we'll just take that V-band off, and then we'll throw the hood brackets back on, the hinges, and then we will throw the hood on. So now I have some hardware in. So the hood is actually mounted to the chassis, but I don't have the prop anymore. I guess I'll have to do something like this every time I pop the hood, so I'll have to bring something like that around with me in the car. But so far, fuel pressure regulator touches the hood, which was expected, and then the other thing that's hitting is this latch, so I have to cut all that off because it is hitting on the intercooler and not letting it go down any further. We'll have to take that out. These fittings look like they're a little close too, which is not good. But one thing I do want to do is I want to take these out. They're super like ricey, and I'm not a fan of that. I don't like how that looks when you go through here and you see the mesh. I'm not a fan of that. I think it looks tacky, and we're going to take that off. So to take it off, it has these tabs there, and you just bend them, and then you take the mesh out. So it doesn't look like it's going to be too bad. That's a huge improvement. I tried taking that stupid sticker off, and it left that like residue on it. I'm gonna have to get that off. But I'm really glad with how it came out. It looks really good. So now the part that I've been dreading, cutting up the hood underside to make everything fit. So I'm going to start with this, because once we get that off, I think we'll be able to let it lay flat, because I think the only other thing that's hitting is the fuel pressure regulator there. So really hoping that that's all that's hitting, so I can do less cutting. But if we have to do more cutting, we don't really have a choice. So hopefully we'll be able to get away with just cutting that and a little slot back there. So now we're actually hitting on the bolts for the intercooler. So if you look at like how it is, it slopes down and it continues straight the whole way. So I think what I'm going to try to do is just cut it to where it's up there. You can probably see it better here, to where it's up there. Just cut a straight line across, just so it's more even. But this is no longer an issue. So we cut more out. We cut down there for the fuel pressure regulator, and up there for these bolts, because it was hitting there. In that section, our radiator cap is hitting there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to mark out on here where it exactly is on there, and see if I can just put out a square on its own and not have it connect with this piece, so there's still a little bit of strength there, so we don't really ruin anything. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is having someone who knows how to work with fiberglass fill these holes and strengthen them so it looks normal and it doesn't affect the strength of the hood. I'm going to see if we can get that without making that a T, and then we'll be able to fully close the hood. So we managed to get the hole in, and it's not connected to the long horizontal one, so we do have a little bit of strength there, so that's good. We were able to keep that. I'll have to do some research on finding someone who works with fiberglass a lot and is able to do this, but we'll get there when we get there. For now, this is the moment of truth to make sure that everything is good. I took that fitting off there because it has been hitting this whole time. I already ordered the lower profile 90s, so those will be here sometime this week. Then we shouldn't really have an issue, but here we go. Ooh, just look at that. I mean, it's pretty shitty fitment. Like, it's bad. I think it's the fenders, because it's not so bad on this side, but over here, look at that gap. The fenders right there, you can see the hole is rusted out on the fender, and that's how it is along the whole way. So the fender doesn't really sit right. We are getting some wider front fenders. I'm not sure when. Probably once we do a 5-lug swap and we get different rims and we get wider tires. So until then, we'll just have some shitty fitment. At this point, I was more focused on performance than aesthetics. So, I mean, the only aesthetic things really has been the kooky tails. You know, just painting stuff, making it look decent. Unfortunately, with the way that the hood is set up, this vent, the wastegate would be coming out right here, and I don't want that. So what I'm going to try to do is see if I can get the wastegate to sit back more, because if we can get it back here, that is perfect for me. That totally works for me. I'm totally cool with it back here, but I do not want to cut into the vent, because right now it's sitting roughly around here and there's just too much going on. I don't want to mess with that. But the issue is it comes out right here pretty much, like it's pretty close to the strut brace. To get behind the strut brace, we don't have a whole lot of room, but it's going to be so close to the actual exhaust, it's going to be ridiculous. We'll see what we can do. If we can make it work, we'll make it work. If not, I'm going to be very disappointed. So as far as modifying the hood, that's all we're going to do for tonight. We need to put the arrow catch pins in, and I have them, and we could do that if we wanted to, but I really don't. Messing with fiberglass is such a pain. It's extremely messy. Like, look at that. Like, I wiped it down and it's still messy. When we do the pins, though, we won't really have to take the hood off, although I might anyways, just to keep the engine bay cleaner. We're gonna wait on those because I want to get back to working on the exhaust, because I want to get that done and out of the way so we don't have to worry about it. So we're almost done with that. We're like 70% of the way done with it. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for one of those, the hood props. It'd be cool to have something that looks cool, you know, not just random. And we do have the Honda hood mod. Let me see if I can actually do it. I don't know if we're kind of close to the garage. So we're not going to be able to, but for a different reason. These right here, the corners, they don't let it go up anymore. It hits them and I don't want to break them. I totally forgot that on my old hood, it was a carbon hood. I don't know if it was a real carbon or not. It looked nice when it was wet, but it looked shitty when it was dry. That had the corners chipped pretty badly. Like, it seemed like the hood came up because it was also cracked on that side, like right around here. It was just a crack there. The whole underside was all cracked to shit, and it was just bad. So I don't want to damage this hood, so it's gonna stay like that. This is as much as it can open. Good amount of room, and if I ever need more room, just take the 4 bolts off, hood comes off, then we have all the room in the world. Alright guys, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like if you did. Comment down below. Let me know if you guys have worked with fiberglass before. This is my first time and I don't like cutting with it. I don't like modifying it at all. And then hit that subscribe button. See you guys next time. Peace.